never meant to hurt me. I want to say that first. He cared. He researched, he spent money, he paid attention, and I'm still dying. This is the record of how that happened. Day by day, decision by decision. All of it documented. Each one pulling me further from the life I was supposed to have. Day 1. The subject brought me home at 3 p.m, wrapped in brown paper, carried with both hands, set me down on the east shelf, the way you set down something fragile. Like he'd taken me from somewhere I belonged. Then he named me. Before Googling anything, before reading a single care guide, before learning what I needed to survive. Pinky. I'm not recording this because the name matters. I'm recording it because the order matters. And from day 1, the order was wrong. Feeling first, knowledge after. In most cases, that's where things start to go sideways. Day 3. He approached with no experience. No knowledge, just good intentions and a full watering can. I had been watered at the nursery 2 days prior. My soil was at optimal moisture. My roots had no use for additional water. He watered me anyway. Not because I needed it, because doing nothing felt like neglect. This was the first mistake, because when you have a living thing in your care, stillness can feel like failure. Not the watering, the reasoning behind it. Watering his own anxiety instead of my actual needs. I noted it. I couldn't say anything. I never can say anything. That's why we're here. Day 19. He discovered the finger test. Push 2 fingers 2 inches into the soil. Dry, water. Moist, wait. Wet. Put the watering can down and reconsider your choices. This is the correct method. This is how watering should always work. Not by schedule, not by guilt, not by how long it feels like it's been. By the actual state of the soil. 19 days. It took him 19 days to find the single most important tool in the entire care process. I'm noting the progress. I'm also noting the 19 days before it. Day 23. Tap water contains chlorine and fluoride. Over time, both accumulate in leaf tissue. The result? Tip burn. Brown edges. Looks like thirst. Actually, slow chemical poisoning from the very water he was using to keep me alive. He found this on the 4th website he checked. Switch to filtered water left out overnight. Correct from that day forward. The water is not the murder weapon. I'm confirming this for the record. Day 48. This is the day that matters. He decided to repot me. My roots had been circling the bottom of the pot, a clear sign I needed more room. He noticed that. That was the right observation. He went to the hardware store, came back with a ceramic pot, matte finish, earthy brown, beautiful, matched the shelf perfectly. He'd clearly thought about it. He brought it home, filled it with soil, placed me inside. No drainage hole. I knew immediately. Before the first watering, I already knew what was coming. Here is the mechanism. No drainage hole means water cannot exit. Water that cannot exit accumulates at the bottom. Accumulated water displaces oxygen from the soil. Roots deprived of oxygen switch to anaerobic respiration. Anaerobic respiration produces ethanol as a byproduct. Ethanol is toxic to root tissue. My roots began destroying themselves from the inside. This is not speculation. This is Environmental and Experimental Botany, 2023. This is what was happening beneath the soil. while he carefully watered me with filtered water left out overnight. Every time his fingers told him the top layer was dry. He was doing everything right above ground. Below ground was a crime scene. Day 52. 2 leaves dropped. He looked at them, picked them up, threw them away, opened his phone, searched, "Why is my Calathea dropping leaves?" The internet said, "Probably normal, check the light, monitor humidity, could be environmental adjustment." Not one result asked, "Does your pot have a drainage hole?" He closed his phone, continued as normal. That was the moment the window of opportunity began to close. Day 67. I'm flagging this date separately in the record. Day 67 was the point of no return. Not because anything happened on day 67. Nothing happened on day 67. That's exactly the problem. Root damage had accumulated to the point where no external intervention could reverse it. My vascular system, the xylem and phloem that moved water and nutrients from root to leaf, was no longer functioning at the level required to sustain me. Day 67. Nothing happened. Everything was already over. Day 71. He bought a humidifier. I am native to the tropical forest floors of South America. My natural humidity range, 60 to 80%. This apartment, 31%. He didn't know this until day 68, when he finally bought a hygrometer. The humidifier worked, 58%. My pulvini, the motor cells at the base of each leaf stem, had enough turgor pressure to function again. Leaves rising in the morning, folding toward vertical at night, the way they were designed to move. He noticed. He said to no one in the room, "Oh, you're doing the thing." I was doing the thing. Day 71. 4 days after the point of no return. He found the right answer. 4 days after the right answer could no longer make a difference. I'm noting this. I don't have another word for it, just noted. 2 leaves remaining, running on reserve stored before day 48. When those run out, they run out completely. Day 34 of what I've been calling my rest period. Calathea ornata does not go dormant. I've known this for some time. I called it a rest period because the accurate terminology required a conclusion I wasn't ready to put in writing. I'm putting it in writing now. Root system, non-functional. Vascular tissue, irreversibly compromised. Remaining leaves, 2. Cause, a ceramic pot with no drainage hole. Murder weapon, matte finish, earthy brown, very beautiful. The record has been updated. He's looking at me now. The third look. I've catalogued 3 distinct looks over 112 days. Look 1, the photography look. Soft, phone raised, pleased with the composition. Look 2, the watering look. Functional, task-focused, brief. Look 3, this one. Phone face down on the table, very still. The look of someone who has just finished reading something that confirmed what they already suspected and didn't want confirmed. He touched my remaining 2 leaves. They were soft in a way they shouldn't be. I didn't say anything. Stood up, left, came back with a slate, set it on my shelf. I want that in the record. He didn't move me. That's not an alibi. But I'm logging it as a mitigating factor. Final statement. Specimen 003, Calathea ornata, day 112. He's not a bad person. He's a person who bought a beautiful pot without turning it upside down to check first. He named his plant before learning what it needed to do. He did 17 things correctly after getting 1 thing wrong that mattered most. Order. no hole. And here we are. Case closed. Perpetrator. Unintentional. Weapon. Ceramic pot, matte finish, earthy brown, no drainage. Victim. Me. Verdict? No intent. Lesson. Check the drainage hole before you buy any pot. Ever. For any pot. Starting now. Statement case. October. Afternoon light through the west window, 4 p.m. Phototropins in my cells detected the angle. Auxin redistributed to my shaded side. Cells elongated asymmetrically. Leans toward the window because of chemistry, not because I decided to. He photographed me 17 times. I was facing the light every single time. Not because I chose to, just because I was me. The light was there, and it was October, and everything was good. That's it. Under. Evidence that it was once very good. It stays there. Record closed. Day 120. Days of optimal condition 47. Cause. Root hypoxia secondary to plot without drainage. Day 48. Point of no return. Day 67. Classification. Unintentional. No prior offences. Closing note. New snake plant on the shelf. 4 days old. He checked the drainage hole before adding a single handful of soil. He learned the way most people learn. After, but he learned. Specimen 003. Rest period classification updated. Final entry.